Mingalaba, I'm Henry Zin. Welcome to MI Radio's Myanmar Today, where we bring you the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. Our first report is on Myanmar Employer Award Giving Ceremony. Another report on 2020 property market predicted to wave red flag. A story coverage on press conference for Women, Peace and Security Forum. The last report on an animated film representing Buddhism history. Well, before we get to the reports, why don't we have a look at what's happening in local news. The Myanmar delegation, led by the State Councillor and Union Minister for Foreign Affairs Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, left Naypyidaw for The Hague, the Netherlands, on Sunday to contest the case filed by Gambia at the International Court of Justice. The oral proceedings on the Gambia's report for the indication of provisional measures will take place at the ICJ on the 10th, 11th and 12th of December, respectively. The State Councillor, in her capacity as the Union Minister for Foreign Affairs, will contest this case to defend the national interest of Myanmar at the court. First Lady Daw Cho Cho organized a religious ritual for State Councillor Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, who left for The Hague in the Netherlands on Sunday to defend Myanmar's national interests before the International Court of Justice. At the Sasana Baimandor of Eternal Peace Pagoda in Dakinathewi Township in Naypyidaw, the religious ritual was performed with recitations of Parita Pali verses, Dhammacakka Pavatana Sutta, chanting of Mahapatana Pali, cultivation of metta, and sharing merits. The ceremony was aimed for success, protection, and safety of the State Councillor in her defense at the ICJ. The ritual was attended by the wife of Union Election Commission, Union Minister for Religious Affairs and Culture, Thra Uwangko, and concerned officials. Union Minister for the Office of the State Councillor, Ujo Dinsui, hosted a dinner for the delegation led by State Councillor and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Wang Yi, in Naypyidaw on Saturday. The Chinese delegation was accompanied by Chinese Ambassador, Mr. Chen Hai. Before the dinner, Union Minister Wu Hanzhou and Vice Chairman of the International Development Cooperation Agency, Mr. Deng Bo-ching, signed an MOU to donate 1,000 prefabricated homes for Rakhine State by China and exchanged the documents in the presence of Union Minister Ujo Dinsui and Mr. Wang Yi. Supervised by Mandalay Region Government, Myanmar Well-Wishers and Thailand's Dhammakaya Foundation jointly organized third mass alms giving for 30,000 monks at the Chamyathazi Airport in Mandalay on Sunday. 6 donors from Thailand led by recitation of offering the 4 requisites and donated offertories to the monks. Officials, donors and well-wishers led by Union Ministers Dr. Myo Teng-ji and Nai Tet Luin donated each monk 30,000 kyats and offertories to the members of Sangha. Foods and soft drinks for congregation were also donated by well-wishers at the event. This is the third almsgiving in Mandalay donated to 30,000 monks. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. Myanmar Employer Award Giving Ceremony was held on Saturday at Novotel Hotel to recognize the contribution of both international and local companies in Myanmar. Several business persons were given the awards respective of their own fields, and it was the ceremony where they also got inspiration to strive more for a better future of doing business in Myanmar. Williamson reports.
The 4th Myanmar Employer Award Giving Ceremony was held on 7th of December at Novotel Hotel in Yangon with the aim to empower the employers across Myanmar and inspire them for a better Myanmar in the future in creating workforce and also bringing talented employers. Myanmar Employers Awards celebrate top industry leaders across the country for their exceptional achievements and heartfelt commitment to employer excellence and talent management. Over the course of multiple months, organizations will be assessed independently based on their individual merits in planning and executing the effective practices. The Myanmar Employer Awards are dedicated to developing further best practices in HR for Myanmar. Speaking to MI Radio on why this award is necessary for the employers, Mr. Matt De Luca, Managing Director of JobNet.com, said,
Well, look, I think Myanmar is in a state of growth, and I think to support this growth is really important to recognize companies that do a really good job. And especially when it comes to HR and employer excellence, it is something that I think, in Myanmar we can do even better. And so the Myanmar Employer Awards aims to recognize the best companies that are excelling at all these best practices, whether it's workplace environment or HR technology or recruitment strategy, all the different aspects of HR that make a company an employer of choice. So actually the MEA is divided in two, so local and international. The local companies compete among local companies, international companies compete among international companies. So the two of them, you know, a local company doesn't compete with an international company, right? So it's two separate competitions, yeah. It's all part of the MEA, but we have two different, if you will, segments. One is local and one is international. For exactly that reason, because we think it is not quite ready yet for you know, all local companies to be competing with all international. But I think in the future we should put them together. Maybe not just yet. Yeah.
The Myanmar Employer Award program is open for both local and international companies of different sizes operating in Myanmar. And Myanmar Employer Awards Gala Night is the celebration of the highest levels of achievement by the companies from all sectors to recognize and encourage HR best practices in Myanmar. Awards were allocated based on their independent judging carried out by 18 local and international judges. Depending on the category, one has to prepare an essay and fill in a certain questions, and the essays are judged by a total of 18 panelists, including both international and local judges. But the judges are barred from voting for any company. But for this award, the local companies compete for other local companies, and international companies compete against other international companies. According to Mr. Matt, HR for sale is the most demanded HR in Myanmar, and 1 out of 5 employees is working in sales and marketing industry in Myanmar. Speaking on what makes a creative, talented, and better employee, he also said that it is a combination of how things are taught in school, what is taught, and also how hard people study, which are mainly practical things which one has to perform. Good Jin is one of the awardees who received the award of International People's Choice Award, and speaking to MI Radio on what could be the reasons which make him worthy of this award, he said,
I think in every organization, employee engagement and is very important. And without employee, it cannot be. You will never achieve a good workplace, right? And for the internal marketing, I think it's something you have to create for the best workplace, and it's about the engaging people. And so tonight, I believe that this award recognizes us. We did the right thing in engaging people and engaging the employees, and we believe that we are creating and contributing a lot in creating the best workplace in Myanmar.
This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio.
That's a report on Myanmar Employer Award giving ceremony. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. In Yangon, a nice weather with plenty of sunshine, but the air quality will be unhealthy for sensitive groups during the day. We may experience the highest temperature of 30 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 14 degrees Celsius in the night. A bit of cool breeze these days in the city, so get your sweaters out and put them on and stay warm. In Naypyidaw, a nice weather with plenty of sunshine during the day. We're definitely experiencing the highest temperature of 28 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 12 degrees Celsius in the night. Precipitation is obviously low, but there's winds of only up to 4 km per hour. In Mandalay, a beautiful weather with plenty of sunshine during the day. Highest temperature being 28 degrees Celsius and the lowest being 13 degrees Celsius. Very, very lovely weather to be in the city. Well, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. The opening ceremony of 12th Myanmar's biggest property expo took place at the Damador Hall in Yangon on Friday. The expo showcased apartments, condos, and residences at different price range. Our reporter Agaja reached out to real estate experts for more on the current property market trend and the prediction for 2020 property market.
It is reported that 2020 real estate market will wave red flag as previous years. High price and weak economic growth will keep the market in the red. Mye Aung from Real Estate Services Association said this at the opening ceremony of the 12th Myanmar's biggest property expo at Damador Hall in Yangon on December 6th. iMyanmarHouse.com, a Myanmar real estate online platform, organized the expo. Myanmar property market, especially the luxury housing segment, has been on the downward trend since 2015.
2020 real estate market will wave red flag as previous years. So for the apartment market in Yangon, only apartments that are priced under 50 million kyats are active on sales. In Yangon region, the areas where the apartment sales are active can be generalized. They are the apartments in YCDC area, 6 downtown townships as well as Yangin, South Okrapa and North Dagon. The place where one can get a good housing facility with 100 million kyats is none other than North Dagon Township. The housings in Golden Valley are sold out once the prices are set. They are luxury segment. I am sure everyone is aware that the market sees more supply than demand. The reason behind sales drop is the high price. So if the price for the property is set reasonable, the sales will improve.
Real estate industry is the 5th biggest income generator in the world. Data shows that 7% of the income tax comes from real estate sector in Myanmar.
Condominium law has been passed, but we barely see the condominiums that meet the definition of the condo in the law. Only Yangon has the condominiums that are up to par with the condo law requirement. But condos in other places are not up to the requirements. The apartment law is coming up with its passage. The law will help with the systematic maintenance of contract apartments. The apartment law submitted by the non-governmental association is on the way, and it will benefit the buyers, sellers, and the service providers.
There are 4 types of residential properties in Yangon. They are landed house, private apartments on private land, public housing, and condominiums. Concerning the rental apartment market and home loan trend, a spokesperson of iMyanmarHouse.com explains.
The rental apartment market is like the apartment rent starting from 1 to 2 lakhs kyats, and 2 to 5 lakh kyats apartment comes second, and the third comes 5 to 6 lakh mini condos. And with the home loan, it started in 2017 in market, and it became popular in 2018, and it becomes better known among people. We are also working with the leading banks in Myanmar for the home loan plan as well. So the customers need to pay 13% interest to buy the house. So over the stretch of 10 years home loan plan, the interest becomes as much as entire house price itself. So because of the high interest rate, the buyers are not that bold and are cautious in taking home loan. And another setback to the home loan taking is that majority of the population in Myanmar are employees who receive salary in cash, and so they do not have pay slip as a proof for the salary received, and they cannot take loan. If we can get rid of these barriers, the home loan will be more popular.
This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on the 2020 property market predicted to wave red flag. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,501 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 213 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,667 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,970 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,104 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 361 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 49 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,460. Silver is at $16. And Brent crude oil is at $58. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI remains at 11,500. MTSH is at 3,900. MCB remains at 8,300. FPB is at 23,000. TMH remains at 2,900. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. A forum on women, peace and security was held by Alliance for Gender Inclusion in the peace process, with the focus of finding the current situation of the return and resettlement of IDPs and the sexual harassment that women are facing in conflict areas. The press conference to present the final result of the forum was held on Friday at Novotel Hotel. DJ Zin has the details.
Alliance for Gender Inclusion in the Peace Process (AGIPP) has been organizing the Forum for the Women since 2016, and for 2019, the four-time forum was held under the title Women, Peace and Security. The press conference to present the result of the forum took place on 6 December at Novotel Hotel, Yangon.
The forum tika chachi ba ya re achi che ka ro chama ro di amyuthimi ye atan ni ko susi pi de kha cha ro.
The purpose of the forum is to collect the voices of women to be able to report to the respective organizations. The participants are the members of our 7 partner organizations as well as other related organizations. Altogether, 103 participants from Yangon region, Kayur State, Kachin State, Mon State, and Shan State attended the forum.
ကျမတို့ AGMBB ကတော့2014ကနေစပြီးတော့ကျမတို့စတင်ပြီးတော့ဖွဲ့စည်းခဲ့တာဖြစ်ပါတယ်။ပြီးတဲ့အခါကျတော့လုပ်ငန်းစဉ်တွေကိုကျမတို့2015မှာ
AGIPP was formed since 2014 and it's been running the process since 2015. There are 7 partner organizations participating in this AGIPP. They are Gender Development Initiative, Gender Equality Network GEN, Kachin State Women Network, Mon Women Network, Shalom Foundation, Mon Organization Network, and Women and Peace Action Network Shan State. The main focus of AGIPP is to enhance the role of women in the peace process and to support the peace process from the gender inclusion sector. We produce the policy recommendation, provide the capacity strengthening for SCS, social and community service, and media briefing.
The forum was to find solution for the safety of women in the peace processes. They have presented that women are facing sexual violence in the areas of conflict and the current situation of the return and resettlement of the IDPs.
တိုက်တယ်တစ်ခုကကြတော့ဒုက္ခသည်တွေနေရပြန်ရင်းနဲ့နေရပြန်လဲချထားရေးကိစ္စရဲ့နောက်တစ်ခုကကြတော့ကျမတို့ဒီပဋိပက္ခအတွင်း
In this year forum, we have 2 main focuses for the return and resettlement of IDPs and to study sexual harassment of women in the areas of conflict. The participants are those who are currently working in the areas of conflict and supporting IDPs. In the forum, Dr. Maintain, who is the Director of Department of Disaster Management, presented about the return and resettlement of IDPs based on the strategy of the government.
ခုလောလောဆယ်တော့ကျမတို့ရထားတဲ့ရလဒ်တွေကိုသက်ဆိုင်ရာဒီငြိမ်းချမ်းရေးဖြစ်စဉ်နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ပါဝင်ပတ်သက်နေတဲ့အစုအဖွဲ့
We are to advocate the result for the organizations which are involving in the peace processes. We will report them that these are the factors we have found out and search for further process and collaboration. With a combination of our partner organizations, we are also to perform for the law and constitution changes, but it's the process which takes longer time.
One of the participants of the forum also shared what she has learned from the forum.
တင်ယူလိုက်ရတဲ့ဟာတွေကတော့အများကြီးပေါ့နော်။ဘာလို့အမားတို့မွန်ဒေတာတွေမှာ
I have learned a lot from the forum because in our Mon state there are few numbers of IDPs, but I got a chance to listen to the reality of the other areas. There are many challenges in the process of return and resettlement of women, as well as there are sexual harassments that women in the conflict areas are facing. Sexual violence is used as a weapon to the woman. There are some monetary weaknesses in the areas of that violence. Especially in the IDP camps, the space is too narrow, which cause more sexual violence. Attending the forum, I could listen to the real-life situation of the women from those areas.
AGIPP aims to collect the accurate data of women facing sexual violence and to submit it to the respective organizations. The safety of women can enhance the role of them participating in the peace processes. The government and other NGOs are closely working together to support the return and resettlement of IDPs as well. That's all for now. This is Dora Suisin from MI Radio.
That's a report on press conference for Women, Peace and Security Forum. And here's the last report on an animated film representing Buddhism history. An animated film which is mainly focused on the history of Shin'upa Gota and highlighting the Buddhism history, Shin'upa Gota film will be screening this month. The film includes many animated and special effects. The press conference for the film was held on 27th of November at Park Royal Hotel. Two of our interns at MI Radio went to the press to find out more about the film.
An animation film, Shin'upa Gota, will be on screen on upcoming December. The press conference for this film was held on 27 November at Park Royal Hotel. This film is mainly focused on the history of Shin'upa Gota and highlighting the Buddhism history. Unlike any other films, this film includes many animated effects, special effects, and high-quality sound effects. Academy Awards winner actress Wawa Winshui created this film as the memorandum of her 60 years in film industry and as an intention to educate the Buddhists about Shin'upa Gota. Audiences can see the shelter of Buddha is peaceful in this film. The producer, Academy Awards winner actress Wawa Winshui, took for about 1 year to produce this film and shared her experiences.
We prepared the costumes carefully, like the audiences can see the different style of hermit in this film. As Shin'upa Gota is a monk during the Atoka's times, so we set all the costumes of the staring to be Atoka styles. This film costs more than 5 times than ordinary films, and more crew members are needed. That's why this film is difficult to make, and we can't produce any other films like this anymore.
Shin'upa Gota film was once produced by director Uchipe in black and white, and this is the second time reproducing this film. Ko Ang Jotron, special effect creator and starring, shared his roles in this film and how he carefully created the special effects.
In this film, firstly, my role is to make special animated effects like the baby is born from fish body. So we have to make bigger animated fish and the animated child inside it. We have to create the spills of blood as soon as the fish is cut by preparing the blood bags inside the fish body and the movements of the fish. Secondly, I perform as Mara, Manat in this film, and this is created with chroma. I have to wear costumes which is different from the ordinary ones, and I have to perform the fighting scenes with Shin'upa Gota for many times. I have to jump with the net costumes before the Mara changes into Nagar, the water dragon, so that this scene is added with animations.
And he also shared his points of views how this film can affect the Myanmar film industry.
I think this film will be the very first movie that includes so many animations. So by producing this film, it will renew the Myanmar's film industry, as there are differences in costumes and sound effects. This film will be the very first step to the international standardized films.
Shane Upagowda, who is shown sitting cross-legged, dressed in a monk's robe and hand-leaning in a bowl of arms called the Bei, associated with the Naga, generally worshipped by the Buddhists of Myanmar. It is supposed to protect the worshippers from dangers, including floods and storms. Some Buddhists believe that Shane Upagowda still lives in a copper palace floating in the Southern Ocean, and that Ye Myopwe is held in Yangon in October. It involves a Chinese-style ceremony procession and ashes scattered in the river. As Myanmar films are not very much advanced in animation, this Shane Upagowda film will be the new taste for animated film lovers.
And that's all the reports on Myanmar today. Now let's carry on with international news. Terrorists drove a car into the center of China's capital on October 28, 2013, killing 2 in Tiananmen Square. Videos were found of the driver burning flags of China and other countries, while interview clips of other 2 attackers show that they were a couple who had left behind 2 children to commit this terrorist act.
On October 28, 2013, an SUV rammed through barricades in front of the gate tower and burst into flames. The attack killed 2 civilians and wounded over 40. The driver and the 2 passengers all died. The authorities soon declared the incident a terrorist attack. They said it was not an isolated incident outside Xinjiang, and that it marked a new phase of terrorist violence in China. Police identified the driver as Isam. In recovered selfie videos, Isam burns national flags of a dozen countries. Before the Tiananmen attack, the group swore so-called jihad on a barren hill on the outskirts of Urumqi. Police also detained the other 5 members involved in the attack. When this couple signed on, they left their 6-year-old son and 2-year-old daughter at home. They sold all their possessions in preparation.
手里还有存的钱吗？
没有。
那给不给孩子留什么东西？
没有。既然已经到那个地方了，下定决心。那个时候我想，我自己不会杀人，拿刀也拿不起来，我对自己没有信心做那样子的事情。
The State Council Information Office held a press conference Monday on Xinjiang's stability and development. 4 local officials, including Shorat Zakir, chairman of the Xinjiang Regional Government, briefed the media on Xinjiang's situation. Shorat Zakir said at the press conference, Xinjiang's economy has seen sustained and healthy growth in recent years, and people of all ethnic groups have united and worked together for common prosperity and development. He added, Xinjiang has seen no violent terrorist attacks for 3 consecutive years, with efforts made to eradicate the soil that breed terrorism and religious extremism. Zakir said that Xinjiang's regional GDP has seen an annual increase of 8.5%, and all rural residents living under the current poverty line are to be lifted out of poverty by 2020. In other news, climate change and nutrient pollution are driving the oxygen from our oceans and threatening many species of fish. That's the conclusion of the biggest study of its kind undertaken by conservation group IUCN. While nutrient runoff has been known for decades, researchers say that climate change is making the lack of oxygen worse. Around 700 ocean sites are now suffering from low oxygen, compared with 45 in the 1960s. Researchers say the depletion is threatening species including tuna, marlin, and sharks. Well, that's a wrap on today's Myanmar Today. Thank you for joining me. You have a good day. I'm Henry Zin. See you tomorrow.